This tutorial will show you how to set up and use the Active Directory support on your Seagate Business Storage NAS. There are 2 steps to setting up Active Directory support. First, you will need to enter the required information for the domain server from which you will be importing the Active Directory. Then, you will need to set the shared folder permissions for the imported users and groups. To begin, log into the Seagate NAS Manager as an administrator. Once the dashboard is launched, click on the Network menu item. Then, click on Workgroup. After the Workgroup page displays, change the current enabled mode from Workgroup to Domain Member. Once you change the mode, you will be required to enter a fully qualified domain name, the domain controller net BIOS name, and the domain controller IP address. This information should be obtainable from the administrator of the domain from which you are importing the Active Directory. Next, you will need to provide a domain administrator's username and password. Typically, a domain administrator would belong to a group of domain administrator, enterprise administrator, or an administrator group as determined by site or group policy. After you have entered all the required information, click on the Save button. Once you click the Save button, you will be advised that the NAS was successfully updated. After the NAS has been updated, it will begin importing the Active Directory list. Depending on the size of the list, the import could take from several minutes to several hours. The next step is to assign the folder permissions for the imported users. To continue, click on the Users and Groups menu item. Then, click on Shared Folder Permissions. After the Shared Folders permission page displays, select one of the shared folders to which you want to assign permissions for the imported Active Directory users and groups. Then click on the folder's edit icon to access the permissions section for the folder. The bottom portion of the page will expand and display the permission section for the folder you selected. If the folder is designated as public, remove the check mark from the Public Access checkbox. The unassigned users list box will be populated with the names of the imported users. The unassigned groups list box will be populated with the names of the imported groups. The imported users and groups will have an ADS prefix in front of the names which differentiates them from the workgroup members. To continue, click on the usernames for whom you want to assign permissions. Then use the blue buttons to move the usernames into either the full access, the read-only, or the no access list boxes. Use the same procedure to assign access permissions to any of the unassigned groups. When you have finished, click on the Save button. You will be informed the folder permissions were successfully updated. These are all the steps required to set up Active Directory support on your Seagate Business Storage NAS. For more information on the product and its features, please view the rest of the Seagate Business Storage NAS tutorials.